Hey Rick,
Hey Megan, how you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm wearing my favorite Valentine's, February sweater.
I see
I
that.
got it at TJ Maxx. So if any of the ladies out there are looking for festive heart sweaters, TJ Maxx here in Anaheim has plenty of them and they're very affordable. And this one is really soft. So I'm vibing at a level 10 here and my soft,
Looks
cute,
good, especially in the cooler weather right
comfortable
now, right?
Valentine's Day sweater.
Love it.
You look cozy as well and ready to give us some info. Tell us what do we got this week? This week you're going to be the one with the chatterbox.
There we go. Well, we're going to talk about how to access your equity in your house and what are
Mm,
the ways to do that and what are the pros and cons of doing that as well. There's always a pro and a con. We know that. So let's look at first the three ways to do that.
hmm
It's called a HELOC, which is also known as a line of credit. People confuse those two terms. HELOC and line of credit are the same. Okay. Then you have the line of credit. Then you've got a fixed rate second, number two. And number three, you can do a full cash out refinance, which is a first mortgage, a new first mortgage. So
hmm
let's break those down. Let's look at the line of credit first or a HELOC. That really, in my opinion, for the most part, is the best loan for most people right now. And here's why. You can take out as much as you want, up to 90% of your property value, generally speaking.
90%.
90%, which is very, very high. Okay. So someone doesn't have a huge amount of equity, but they want to do like add an ADU, do some home improvement, do a remodel. That's really a cost-effective way to get access to your equity
hmm
without spending a lot of money. The cool thing I like about the line of credit is that the money that you take out, you're only paying on the money that you're using. So let's say, for example, you're doing a remodel.
hmm
Let's say you're going the remodel is going to cost you, I don't know, let's say it's 200,000. Okay. But you're not going to spend that whole 200,000 up front, right? So you don't want to be paying, on that money when you're not really using it yet. So you take
Bingo.
out that 200,000. Let's say your contractor wants, say, 25,000 to do something. Well, you write him a check out of your equity. They give you checks for that out of your equity for $25,000. So now you're only using 25,000 of that $200,000 line of credit.
hmm
The beauty of that, Megan, is that you're only paying the payments for that portion. And those payments are always for the first 10-year period, they're always going to be interest only. So those payments are also very affordable. Okay. They're going to be less money than, say, for example, a 30-year fixed rate mortgage in terms of payment.
hmm
Okay. Also, the beauty of that program is you can take money out and pay it back. Okay, you get
hmm
flexibility there too. So let's say you take out 50,000, but you wind up paying 15,000 back. Now you're paying less payment because you're only paying on the amount that you're really borrowing at that time.
hmm
Now you got the full 200,000 available in this example, but you may not need all that for quite some period of time, but it's still available to you.
hmm
The one unique feature, though, of a line of credit is that it is always a variable rate loan. And what I mean by that, it's tied to the prime rate. So whenever we see the Fed make a move that affects the prime rate, either up or down. Now, typically that up or down payment is very minimal. It's not very much, but it will adjust whenever the Feds make an announcement on the rates. Not a big deal. The one feature, though, too, you want to be mindful of, though, Megan, on a line of credit is that by law, all loans have to have what we call an end date. It has to be a date where you can just pay it off. You can't be interest only forever, right?
Right.
So for the first 10 years, that loan is interest only, still tied to prime rate the whole time, variable. After 10 years, whatever balance you have on that account is now amortized over 15 years. Now it's a
hmm
payment that includes principal and interest, not just interest. And the
hmm
reason for that is because now on that amortized loan, you'll pay that mortgage off in the next 15 years. It
hmm
pays off. Now, keep in mind, it's still going to be a variable. It will still adjust, your payment will still adjust to the prime rate. But when you move to that amortized or that fully amortized loan, you lose the ability to take money out and put it back. Okay, now you're locked into that loan. So if you have $100,000 balance on beginning of year 10, that's where your loan starts, $100,000 amortized that period, and you pay it down from there. you don't have access anymore to that full 200,000.
Yeah, makes sense.
Okay, so that's a very good loan. The second type of loan would be a second mortgage on your house. Now, a second mortgage is a fixed rate product, typically 15-year fixed.
Mhm.
That's a good program for someone that just wants to take a smaller amount of money. They go, that's it. I just want to pay it off in 15 years and just do that. You can do that. You don't have the feature of borrowing more money later on and taking the money out and paying it back. You lose that feature. But again, it's amortized over 15 years and you just pay it
Mhm.
off 15 years. Okay. The last option would be to refinance the entire mortgage. In other words, do a cash out refinance. For the most part, depending upon the situation, at this point in time, I would advise against those because here's the reality. Most people are paying a rate of less than 4% on their mortgage right now.
Mhm.
It really doesn't make any sense. If you've got, let's say, for example, a $500,000 mortgage and you want to take out $100,000 for something on your house, now you're going to borrow 600,000. So let's say you had that mortgage on there for 5 years. You've got 25 years remaining at 4% in this example. Now you're going to take out 600,000, re-amortize all of that all over again from day one for 30 years. And guess what? You're not going to get 4% either.
Right. And it's very expensive to do a
And it's more
refi.
expensive.
Yeah.
So no matter what anybody tells you, and I've had clients call me on this, they say, hey, Rick, my loan servicer gave me this great loan. They give me like they quote you some crazy low rate, and I'm doing refinance, I'm saving all this money. Okay, send me the information. I had one this last year, and I kid you not. And this is a big, well-known loan servicer. Quoted them some rate that was way below market. I'm saying that doesn't make sense, and don't do it that way. They were charging them, and I kid you not on this, $30,000 in loan
Mhm.
points. 30,
Wow.
and they buried that in the paperwork. Hey, they were showing them how they were saving money in the monthly payment.
Yeah, because they're depending on, you're not writing a check for it. You're pulling it out of your equity. You might not
Right.
even notice. Yeah.
Yeah, so why would you spend
Mhm.
$30,000 in fees just for the points to take out 100,000? Makes
Right.
no sense, right? So just
That's
gotta be very
bananas.
careful. There's people in this business that will give really, really bad advice. And that's why you always want to call us when you have information, you want to share something, we'll give you the right guidance. So unless you've got some crazy 8% hard money first mortgage,
Hmm.
you want to refinance it to a lower rate, just go really, for the most part, do a line of credit. It's flexible. You can pay it back, borrow, it's got some flexibility there. And at some point, you may want to roll it into a 30-year fixed rate if the rates get low enough. Probably not, but you still have that availability if that were to happen.
Hmm. Hmm. Well, this has been very informative, and I agree with you. I think the HELOC is uh, the line of credit, or the home equity line of
Right.
credit. The HELOC is the best deal. I think so.
Yeah, it is for most cases. In fact,
Yeah.
I have one in my house, I think, as you know, so for my remodel.
Yeah.
So I think the way my remodel is going, it'll take me 10 years to be able to get the
I know.
remodel
You'll
done.
never pay it off. Just kidding. You'll pay it off. Everything will be great.
Yeah, we'll be eventually. But
Yeah.
that's even for me in the business, that's what I chose. So no, it's
Yeah.
a good way to go.
And then tell us about what's going on with the interest rates this week. How's it going? How's the
Yeah,
market doing?
yeah, good news, rates are better this week.
Hmm.
Let's hope this, I don't want to call it a rally quite yet. We have seen some incremental improvements in the bonds,
Hmm.
driving rates down a little bit. I think this one has some legs.
Yeah.
Now what I mean by that is we got to be careful. Rates get pretty good. They're better than they were last week, but we don't want to get to the point where we think it's going to keep going forever. Because the reality is we could wake up on Friday morning with some data that gets released and it takes it all back. And we know.
Takes it all back. Yep.
So we got to be very mindful of that. So be careful. So and I say this a lot, but I can't say it enough. When you start to see these price improvements, you get these lenders come out of nowhere. They're advertising the rates just plummeted. They're calling you. They're emailing
Oh,
you
it's
all these offers.
plummeted.
Nonsense.
Yeah.
It's just not true. It's false news.
Yeah.
Is. Okay, so race, I'm hoping will, at this point, we'll have some legs. We'll get some market improvements. Now, will we get to 4%? No, I don't think we will. But the reality is, if we get something really close to 6%, maybe a tiny bit under 6%,
I love it.
that's a really good place to be.
Yeah, we'll take it for
Yeah,
sure.
we'll take that all
Yeah.
day.
Yeah. I think most people in this market That's I think that's the comfort zone where we're going to see things, let loose a little bit. January was a little bit of a slow start this year.
Mhm.
And I think it's partly because people were waiting for the leadership change to see how that affected the rates and that sort of thing. So now it's sort of happened, and now it's February 4th right now. And I think things are going to pick up from here.
Yeah, we're seeing signs of that. The stock market's doing better. The mortgage rates are getting better. A lot going on, of course, but I think overall in the next, several months, we're going to see some gradual improvements and a lot
Yeah.
of things that are going to make sense for us.
Right. Right. Well, good. Well, this is all great news, great information, Rick. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful to have somebody like you that I work with that is just so sharp and has so much experience that can look at a person's situation and make some really solid, good advice. So thank you, Rick.
Good to be here. Thank you, Megan. Appreciate you.
I appreciate you, and have a wonderful, wonderful week.
We will.
And we'll talk next Tuesday.
We will. Same time, same place. See you, Megan.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. See you then.
Bye.